Vamos.
My name is Dr. Elliot Gann, Executive Director of Today's Future Sound. We're a nonprofit organization based in Oakland, California that uses music production and hip-hop culture as a mental health and educational intervention, as well as a cultural diplomacy intervention to bridge, different cultures and create understanding between different cultures. The story of how I met Javier is a pretty interesting one, and it definitely uses and really what's integral to the story is technology, social media, and hip-hop culture, dance culture, music, etc. Javier found us and found me actually through Yak Films, which is a YouTube channel, an urban dance channel that travels around the world and documents dancers around the world in competitive hip-hop and urban dance competitions. They started in Oakland, like us, but they now do worldwide work. And I had produced a beat sampling Hava Nagila with a friend of mine and co-producer, Decap. We had submitted this beat that sampled Hava Nagila to Yak Films, which was then placed in a video clip of some 12-year-old breakdancers in the north of France. Javier had seen this on Yak Films. He'd been following Yak Films for some time and was very inspired by their work and their videos. It led him to make similar videos in that vein, documenting local Peruvian dancers, and he had contacted me on Facebook and linked me to the video that he made where he had taken the song. He was really inspired by the song, really liked it, and had created a video with Williams Perez, who's the #1 ranked flatland BMX biker in Peru and in South America, and had shot him on various locations in Lima, on the top of the mountain in downtown Lima in Peru, and had made this incredible video. And I said to him when I saw it, this is really amazing and I love it, but can you please make sure you include our kind of branding information, the logo and that kind of thing, which is something that we talk to young people about, the importance of branding and in doing collaboration. And so Javier and I collaborated for several years, for 3 years, and produced several videos using student songs, beats, compositions from our students in Oakland, and he had placed them in videos that he made, breakdancing videos with local Peruvian dancers, etc. So we developed this relationship online, and we became, virtually very friendly and in contact, did a lot of collaboration online, and we decided that we really wanted to meet in person and collaborate in person. So he contacted a nonprofit organization called D1, D1 School of Dance, that uses dance as a way to connect young people to hip-hop culture and to each other, to empower them to express themselves. And they flew me down to D1 as a resident artist to teach the students in the greater Lima area and also at their main site in Lima. And that was an opportunity not only for me to connect with the students, but also to connect with Javier, learn more about him, learn more about Peruvian culture. We experienced a lot of Peruvian culture together. He shared with us causa, which is a type of food which combines potato and fish, and also causa means homie or really good friend.
Hi, my name is Alex Bloom. I'm a recording artist, instrumentalist, and music producer, and I've been teaching with Today's Future Sound. In the beginning of the year, Dr. Elliot Gann of Today's Future Sound and I teamed up to teach and have our cultural exchange with the D1 Dance School in Lima. Elliot and I believe in music and hip-hop as a medium to connect, listen, teach, explore, and understand each other. This was an amazing opportunity to witness the power of music and dance transcending borders, cultures, as a universal language. The school D1, I really fell in love with the students first off. Music and hip-hop, as I had known before, transcended cultural differences in the room from day one. The whole room felt connected just out of pure love for rhythm, the kick, the snare, the boom, the clap. It was a vibe from the get-go. So Peru at that point had only been a kind of a delicious food spot in my neighborhood. I loved ceviche and always loved the Peruvian sense of art, color, design, music, rhythm. But at that point it had been very foreign to me. But I tell you, there's nothing like the real thing, because as soon as I had true Peruvian food, got to see the art and music firsthand, I was completely blown away. It was nothing like you see in a movie or read in a book. Having gotten to know Javi, I believe Javier is a true artist. Through dance, music, art, film, photography, Javi really gets it. He understands how these art forms are all connected. And he also has the heart and compassion to teach and share what he knows to uplift his community.
So I'm Jason. I also go by Golek as a musician and producer, and I'm an instructor with Today's Future Sound. So for me, I was in Los Angeles at the time. I'd been living there for 2 or 3 years and was doing work for Today's Future Sound there, doing some summer camps and doing some pro bono work in East Los Angeles. And I had met Elliot, a couple of years before in the Bay in Oakland doing battles and then doing work with Today's Future Sound as well in West Oakland. And pretty much what happened is he hit me up, asked me if I wanted to go to this educational conference. I said sure. And then during the conference we were giving a demo, and there were these 3 girls and they were really interested in what we were doing, and I found out that they were all from Hong Kong. We eventually met up with Christine, who was flying out from Hong Kong, trying to see if she could link up with different people and bring people to her arts week, right? And so we eventually linked up with Christine. She flew me and Elliot out, and Javier. I hadn't met Javier before, but I knew of Javier because whenever we would present with Today's Future Sound, we would use this BMX video as an example of a beat that Elliot created, someone jacked basically, and then used it as a soundtrack to their video, and that was Javier, and then that's how he linked up with Javier, etc. Javier is just a really, really cool, kind of funny, artistic, awesome, hilarious, great positive energy, great person. So we had a lot of fun chopping it up just about ideas, all the crazy ideas we could come up with, and we also taught together, and he was the video teacher for the class. Going out to Hong Kong for me was interesting because I've been there so many times as a kid, and we were teaching little kids who grew up in Hong Kong, right? So my parents grew up there, but I'm American. I grew up, or I was born in Pasadena, but it's special for me to go back there and do something like that, because I'm bringing a whole set of ideas that I don't think that they're really exposed to there. Like, and it's through music too. Like, for example, when we went out one night, we went out to like some 90s hip-hop night, and it was like the one 90s hip-hop night, or like, you know, type of music, I don't know, I guess weekly or monthly that there even was. And there was one place, you know, for something like that. The rest of the places were playing really kind of like upbeat EDM-y stuff. Here's something, right? But I wanted to find the records. So I found this guy, Paul, and I just looked up something like record store in Hong Kong. And there was just one thing that popped up, and all these crazy reviews about this guy, Paul. And he's just a dude in an apartment. And you take the train and you go to his apartment, and then it's stacked with vinyl. You ask him, you know, he has a record player like in the middle, and you ask him like, or he'll just talk to you for a second. He'll be like, oh, what kind of music do you like? I was like, oh, I listen to hip hop. He's like, oh, let me put on something for you. Oh, very funky, very funky. He was a dope dude. But his place is stacked with vinyl from, you know, old Bollywood records, old, like, things that I'd never heard of before, like from Singapore, Taiwan, and Japan, Hong Kong. And we took Javier there and Elliot, and we went digging, and it was, you know, it's just so much fun, because, like, when else are you going to find these records, you know? When else are you going to find these really random things? We found some, like, really kind of disturbing album covers, too, I think, right? Like, some really weird stuff. Yeah, no, I mean, I think Javier being there in general, kind of going along this idea of, like, recontextualization was, like, really powerful for me, because that's kind of like, you know, I'm not really recontextualizing myself by going to Hong Kong. It's kind of like, it's a little close to home. But for someone like Javier, who doesn't know the language, doesn't really know the culture, maybe, or maybe just Kung Fu flicks or something, or, you know, I don't know, but, you know, his experience there was really fresh, you know, and new, and, like, it was really cool to see how he engaged with the culture, and how, like, we would just, like, go out at night and, you know, get noodles or something like that, and then there would be, like, a documentary of, like, Peru on the little screen in the restaurant, and he just went, I just remember this for some reason, but he just went nuts and, like, started doing selfies with it and going, like, I am Inca, and, like, saying all this hilarious stuff, and I was like, oh my god, like, this is great.